I'm Supreetha. Welcome to my math class. In the previous lectures on Laplace transform, we studied the definition of Laplace transform, we solved some problems, we saw some basic formulas of Laplace transform, and then we studied about the three properties, that is shifting property, derivative property. Yeah, when do we apply shifting property? When we have the question in the form of e power 8 into f of t. When do we apply derivative property? When we have the question in the form of t power n into f of t. And when do we apply the third property, that is where you integrate when you have f of t divided by t. Okay, all the three we studied in the previous classes and we even solved some problems. Yes, so in this class, let us study something about Laplace transform of periodic function. Okay, what is Laplace transform of periodic function? Suppose I have a function f of t. This is said to be a periodic function. Okay, this is said to be a periodic function if f of t plus n capital T is equal to f of t, yes, for any t greater than 0. Okay, now for example, let me take sin t. Yes, f of t is sin t. Okay, say t, that is t is called as the period. Suppose t is equal to 2 pi. Now, what is f of t plus n pi? That would be sine of t plus, sorry, it is f of t plus nt, right? Over here, what is the condition? Yes, the condition is if f of t plus nt is equal to f of t, right? So what is f of t plus nt now? It would be sine of t plus n. In place of t, I am taking what? 2 pi. Yes. What is sine of t plus 2n pi? It is sine t itself. Okay. So here clearly f of t plus nt is equal to f of t. So this is a periodic function. Okay. Now let me take a problem. Yes. Let me take a problem on periodic function. Okay. So this is the formula of periodic function. Okay. Yes, that is Laplace of f of t is equal to 1 divided by 1 minus e power minus st. Yes. So this is the formula of periodic function. Okay. So you should know this formula. Okay. Now let me take a question. That is f of t is equal to t square. 0 is less than t less than 2. And they have given that f of t plus 2 is equal to f of t. Means it is a periodic function. Okay. And they are saying for t greater than 2, we have to find, yes, we have to find Laplace of f of t. What is the formula? Yes, the formula is Laplace of f of t is equal to, yes, e power minus st. Okay. Now, what is the value of capital T? What is the value of capital T? Observe, we have here we have 0 is less than t. Yes, 0 is less than small t less than 2. Whatever we have here, this is our capital T value. Okay, here you write for 0 less than t less than capital T. Okay, so now let me take t value is 2. Let me substitute in the formula. I would get 1 minus e power minus 2s integration from 0 to 2 e power minus st. What have they given f of t value in the question? They have given t square. Okay, clearly we have two terms in the integration. So let me apply Bernoulli's formula. What is the Bernoulli's formula? Integration of uv is equal to u integration of v minus u dash double integration of v plus u double dash triple integration of v and so on. So what is u? How do you identify u? From pu you should remember isolate. Yes, this is how you give the order, where I is the inverse trigonometric, L is logarithmic, A is algebraic, T is trigonometric and E is exponential. Okay, so as you know, T square is algebraic and E is exponential. In this order, which one comes first? Algebraic, right? So my U would be T square. What is my V? V is e power minus st. Okay. What is u dash? U dash is 2t. What is u double dash? That would be 2. Yes. If you integrate twice, if you differentiate twice, integrated 3 times. What is integration of v? Integration of e power at is e power at divided by a. So that would be e power minus st divided by minus s. What is double integration of v? That would be e power minus st divided by s square. What is triple integration of v? That would be e power minus st divided by minus s cube. Now let me substitute all these values in this formula. Yes. So what do we have here? 1 divided by 1 minus e power minus 2s, right? So that would be 1 divided by 1 minus e to the power minus 2s. The integration part would become u into integration of v. Yes. Minus u dash into double integration of v. Okay. Plus u double dash into triple integration of v. Okay. So what are the limits of integration? That is from 0 to 2. Where do you substitute this 0 to 2? We integrated with respect to t. So wherever we have t, we would have to replace it with upper limit. That is 2 square would be 4 e power minus 2s divided by minus s minus 2 2s are 4 e power minus 2s divided by s square plus e power minus 2s divided by, let me replace this with negative sign, I would get minus s cube. Okay, lower limit would be negative. This, if I substitute 0 into anything would be 0 itself. The same case over here. If I substitute 0 here, 0 into anything is 0. What happens to the third term? We already have a negative sign here. Yes, this is a negative sign. So minus into minus would be plus 2 e power 0 divided by s cube. Okay. So now what else is remaining? We can write this as 4 e power minus 2s divided by s minus e power minus 2s divided by s square minus e power 2s divided by s cube plus 2 divided by s cube. This is our final answer. Okay. Moving on to our next question, that is, so yes, this is our second question. As you can see, they have given f of t. They are asking us to show that Laplace of f of t is so much. Okay. So what is the first step? Yes, in the periodic function, while solving periodic function, always first write down the formula. What is the formula? Laplace of f of t is equal to 1 divided by 1 minus e power minus capital ST, integration from 0 to capital T, e power minus ST f of t into dt. Okay, what is the second step? You have to identify capital T. What is capital T in the given question? Whatever you have, this last thing, yes, last interval, that would be our capital T. Yes. So let me mark it here. This is our capital T. Okay. So the next step is substitute T value. Yes. F of T is equal to 1 divided by 1 minus e power minus as 0 to a e power minus st f of t dt. Okay, so as you can see in the previous problem, we just had one limit, that is from 0 to 2, but here we have two limits, that is from 0 to a by 2 and a by 2 to a. So what should I do? I would write two integrals with summation, correct? That is 1 minus e power minus as into 0 to a by 2 e power minus st f of t dt plus a by 2 to a. Okay, e power minus st f of t into dt. After this, what should I do? What is f of t from 0 to a by 2? It is e. What is f of t from a by 2 to a? It is minus e. So let me substitute these two values. I would get 1 divided by 1 minus e power minus as integration from 0 to a e power minus st e dt plus a by 2 to a e power minus st minus e dt. Okay, so what next? I would have to write this as 1 divided by 1 minus e power minus as. See, I have e here and e even here. E is a constant, right? We are integrating with respect to t. So e is a constant. Let me take it out of integration. Yes. So I would get 0 to a. This is a by 2, right? 0 to a by 2. Check the question. It is 0 to a by 2 and a by 2 to a. Okay. So now I've taken e common. So I would be left with this minus integration a by 2 to a e power minus st dt. What is the next step? Integrate. What is integration of e power minus st? I told you integration of e power minus at or integration of e power at is e power at divided by a. So here I would write e power minus st divided by minus s. The limits are from 0 to a by 2. Here I would get e power minus st divided by minus s. The limits are a by 2 to a. Okay. So I have 1 minus e power minus as. Okay. Moving on, let me apply the limits. That would be e divided by 1 minus e power minus as. Where do we apply the limits? Wherever we have t. Okay. Divided by minus s minus e power 0 divided by minus s. Okay. Minus e power minus as divided by minus s upper limit minus lower limit minus e power minus as divided by 2 divided by minus s. This minus and minus becomes plus. Okay, even here this minus and minus becomes plus. So what do I have? E power minus sa divided by 2 plus 1. Here I have minus s. Here I have plus s. Let me give this negative sign to each term. Here I have a minus. So minus and minus would be plus e power minus as divided by s minus e power minus as by 2 divided by s. Okay. So what would happen if I take the LCM? So this negative sign, I can also write it as, yes, I can also write it here, right? In the middle, something like this. So what would happen? What is the LCM? Clearly in the denominator, everywhere I have s. So let me write that down. In the numerator, I have minus e power minus sa by 2 plus 1 plus e power minus as minus e power minus as or sa, it means the same. Clearly, the first and last terms are same. Agree? Yes? These both terms are same, right? So can I write it as 2 times e power? So I will get 2 times e power minus sa or as, anything means the same, plus 1 plus e power minus as divided by s. What did I miss? I have not written this term, right? This term comes for every step. Okay. Okay. Now, what is the next step? If they ask you to just find the periodic function, this is where we stop. Okay, if they had given us only this part of the question till here. But here in the question we have some extension. They are asking us to show this Laplace of f of t is equal to e divided by s into tan hyperbolic as by 4. How do we do this? Let me try to simplify what we've got. Yes. So this would be equal to e divided by 1 minus e power minus as. What do we have here? We have e power minus as minus 2 e power minus as by 2 plus 1 divided by s. In the numerator, yes, in the numerator, do we have a square plus b square plus 2ab formula? So yes, I have a square minus 2a. Can I write this as b? Yes. Can I write this as into 1? So in place of b, I have 1 here. Yes. See, we have a square. Yeah. We have a square minus 2ab plus b square. Suppose, so clearly here a value is e power minus as by 2. What if I square this? This 2 and 2 gets cancelled. I would get e power minus as. That is what we have in place of a square. Agree? So now, so yes, if I have to write it in the form of a minus b whole square, I have 1 minus e power. In place of a, what do I have? I have e power minus as by 2 e divided by, yes, e divided by 1 minus e power minus as divided by s. So this, whatever we have here, let me multiply and divide this power with 2. Do we have a square minus b square formula now? Yes. So can I write it as a plus b into a minus b? Yes, as by 2. Okay. What do we have in the numerator? We have e power minus as divided by 2 into s. Okay, clearly these both gets cancelled. We have a square here, so one of the terms gets cancelled. Okay, we have a square here because it is a minus b the whole square, right? So these gets cancelled. Correct? So what else is remaining? We have e divided by s into 1 plus e power minus as divided by 2. Here we have 1 minus e power minus as divided by 2. Okay. So in the question I have tan hyperbolic. Agree? In the question I have tan hyperbolic. So one of the clues here I have is, in the trigonometric formula list I had given you sine hyperbolic AT. Yes, sine hyperbolic AT can be written as e power AT minus e power minus AT divided by 2. Or if I send this 2 to the other side, it would become 2 sine hyperbolic AT is equal to e power AT minus e power minus AT. So, for the numerator, what should I multiply to get this form? Yes, I already have e power, the negative term I already have here. I should get a positive term over here. Agree? So what I'll do is, I'll multiply this with e power as, e power as divided by 4. I cannot only multiply, I would have to divide it also. Yes, after dividing, that is after multiplication and division, what will I get? So 1 into e power as by 4 is e power as by 4. Okay. What is e power as by 4 into e power minus as by 2? So bases are same. You can add the powers. I would get as by 4 minus as by 2. Okay. If I take as by 2 common, I would be left with half minus 1, which is minus half. I can write it as e power minus as by 4. Why? Because as by 4, okay, as by 4 into minus half is what? Minus as by 4. Okay, so here I would have e by s divided by, same logic, use the same logic, you would get e power minus as by 4. So as you can see, using this formula, yes, in the numerator I can substitute the numerator as e divided by s 2 sine hyperbolic as by 4 divided by 2 cos hyperbolic as by 4. 2 and 2 gets cancelled. I would have e divided by s. Sine by cos is tan. Hyperbolic as by 4. This is what we had to show. Yes. Clearly, this is what we had to show. Okay. Now, what did we study in today's class? We studied about periodic function. Yes, how do we solve the problems on periodic function? We have a formula as I've given here. This is the formula. Yes, this is the formula. So, if they ask you to find using periodic function, first step is substitute the formula. Second step is substitute t value, capital T value. You should be able to identify t, that is time period. Okay, and then you just have to integrate. If they have asked you to show something like this, in this problem we had show that, yes, then you would have to simplify your answer a little bit. You would arrive at the expected answer. Okay, so yes, that is it for today's class. Thank you.